Slurry separation technology is nothing new, but the way it can be used is, with new improved separators now capable of producing recycled material dry enough to be reused as cattle bedding. This development has raised many questions, and following a year-long consultation with industry stakeholders, Defra and the Scottish Government has permitted the use of recycled manure solids as bedding in England and Scotland, for the time being at least, provided farmers comply with a list of control conditions. There are 14 legal requirements that farmers must follow at all times. Number 1. Recycled manure solids must only be produced from cattle manure or slurry. No other species such as pig or poultry shall be used. This slurry or manure must come from cattle housing or yards. Number 2. Material that has been composted or digested cannot be reused as bedding. Number 3. Recycled manure solids must only be used as bedding for the cattle that generated the slurry or manure in the first place. Number 4. Slurry or manure must not be moved between farm businesses, either before or after processing. Number 5. Other than bovine TB, farms under notifiable disease restrictions cannot produce bedding from recycled manure. Number 6. Slurry and manure from TB reactors and inconclusives cannot be used as bedding. Manure from these cattle would have to be separated from the main herd. Number 7. Slurry and manure from aborted cattle under brucellosis investigation cannot be used. Number 8. Other materials such as waste milk, birthing fluids and manure from calving areas must not be included either. Number 9. Equipment used to handle recycled manure and feed must be kept separate or thoroughly cleansed and disinfected between usages. Number 10. Separators must be thoroughly cleansed and disinfected if moved to a different unit. Number 11. Recycled manure can only be used to bed down house cattle older than 6 months of age. Number 12. Milk from herds using recycled manure as bedding must be pasteurised. Number 13. There are many different makes of slurry separator on the market, but the bedding must be produced by a machine fit for the purpose of producing dry bedding, which means manure solids must be squeezed to a minimum of 34% dry matter. And finally, number 14. Recycled manure can only be used in cattle cubicle housing. It should not be used as a deep bed in pens, yards or in calving areas. In addition to these 14 legal requirements, there are a further 12 recommendations of current best practice that Defra, the Scottish Government and industry stakeholders advise farmers should follow. These include: recycled manure should be prepared and stored under cover to avoid any increase in water content prior to application, and freshly separated manure should be used as soon as practically possible, which is normally within 12 hours. All of this information, as well as some frequently asked questions, is explained in greater detail on the DairyCo website.